Hi, I'm Allie. I'm a business owner working in tech, and I'm here to share some things that you hopefully find helpful. Today, I want to talk to you about something super scary that everyone hates called networking. If you are at all introverted, you probably are not a fan of networking. I kind of love networking. Is that weird? I've gotten really good at it over the past couple of years, and trust me, it's not necessarily a natural skill that I have. It really came from practice, and I got better at it over time. I'm getting better at it all the time. After networking for a couple of years, I have a really solid, very reliable network of human beings in my corner that I can go to for all sorts of things, work-related and otherwise. So let's talk a little bit about what networking is and how we think about it and how we could change that and maybe get better at networking. So what do we think of when we think of networking? I used to think of very formal, awkward conversations where you talk to somebody about what you do and you exchange business cards or email addresses. Best case scenario, you use them to get a job. Worst case scenario, you never talk to them again. Actually, worst case scenario is it's so awkward that they laugh at you and make fun of you. It can be really, really scary, but it does not have to be, because believe it or not, that's really not what networking is. Even though networking is scary and can feel really fake, and we're not always sure how to do it or where to do it or when to do it or why to do it, we can do it. I think it all comes down to adjusting how we think about the end goal of networking. The end goal of networking to some people is finding a job. We are looking for an opportunity, we're looking for a new position, we're looking for a way in the door. And networking can help you with that. Definitely is possible. But it's not always a good idea to go into a conversation hoping that this person will be that key for you. Networking is best when you build yourself a wide network of people. People who you have things in common with, that you like, that you respect, that, can help you professionally if it comes to that. If you go into that conversation just wanting something out of them, that's gonna feel fake. That's gonna feel disingenuous. That's gonna feel mean. But if you go into that conversation thinking, I need people around me who know what they're doing, who I can learn from, who I can teach, who I can support and who can support me, that's what a network is. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for friends in the context of whatever our work is, in this case, tech. How do you do that? How do you have that conversation? I look at it like any other friendship. If you're nervous about talking to people, about just going up and sticking out your hand and introducing yourself, make it less about you, right? As introverts, we don't really like the spotlight being shown on us, so deflect that attention. If you meet someone and you're interested in networking with them or adding them to your network, which should be the way that we think about it, right? Instead of, I'm gonna go network with that person, think of it like, I'm gonna go add that person to my network. That shifts the balance of things a little bit and probably makes it a little bit more comfortable. So we go up to this person, we introduce ourselves, and maybe we ask them a question about them. Where do you work? What do you do? What do you like about that company? How long have you been doing that? Why do you do that? Why do you like to do that? Ask them things about themselves. People really like being asked about themselves. It feels good. It feels nice. And we know about ourselves, right? That's the thing we know best in life, is our experience and our story. So if you can ask them about themselves, add some follow-up questions, really build a rapport and get to know them, you can learn whether or not this is really someone you want in your network. Do they do work that is complementary to yours? Are there things you can learn from them? Do you like them? I think one of the things people fear is networking with someone that they don't like, because they feel like that person might be able to help them. The tech industry is huge. You can find people that you like who can also help you. And that's kind of a process of elimination. We know how to breach that conversation a little bit better, right? What do we do with that? What do we do with that information? Sure, there's exchanging business cards, exchanging emails. Connecting on social media is also a really good way to do that. I mean, that's kind of why LinkedIn exists, but it doesn't just have to be LinkedIn. It could be Slack, it could be Twitter, it could be Instagram. It could be whatever you're comfortable with. Just find a way to stay in touch and actually stay in touch. Another thing that we think about is, well, where do I go to network? Where is all this networking happening and taking place? It happens everywhere. You could be at a party, a friend's birthday party, and meet someone that works at a company you would love to work for. That might be somebody to add to your network. And you don't have to talk to them about that company. You could talk to them about movies for 2 hours. Build that relationship, get to know that person, and then exchange information. Later on down the road, you might be able to reach out to them and ask them some questions about that company. But more so, it's about building the relationship rather than creating an in for yourself. Anyway, I got distracted. Where do we find networking? Everywhere. Anytime you meet someone new, find out what they do. If you want to be more specific about it, through LinkedIn, right? It's built for that. Make connections with new people. Go to events, virtual and online, and chat with people. Meetup.com is a great place to go to find local events near you. Might not be the best idea during a pandemic, but a lot of them on meetup.com are virtual. So you can attend a virtual event, chat with people, follow the speakers on social media, and build out this web of people that you find interesting. I used to go to this really cool breakfast lecture series called Creative Mornings. Again, not really sure what they're up to now during the pandemic. I think they're doing virtual events, but check out things like that where you have speakers, you have other attendees, and the great thing about those things is that they are kind of for networking. So if you go up to somebody and ask, what do you do? Where do you work? They're kind of expecting to have that conversation. They've come primed to have that conversation. So you don't have to worry about looking silly or looking awkward. I started networking and getting really good at it on Twitter because that's where my specific industry community exists. I got an opportunity to be a brand ambassador for a company, and I decided I really needed to up my networking game so that I could be better at what I was doing. So I blocked off 15 minutes of my calendar every single workday, and I just spent it on Twitter, following people, liking posts, retweeting things. Over time, as I got more and more confident and kind of met more and more people, I would post things on my own, or I would reply to people and ask questions, or I would reply with my take on things. And now you can't get me to shut up on Twitter. And I've built this large network through Twitter because I dedicated just a little bit of time every day to that networking, that building out that web of people who I found interesting, who had interesting things to say, and who cared about what I had to say as well. So those are my tips. Don't think about networking as what can I get from somebody else, but think about networking as how can I add this person to my village that's helping me become a better person in terms of what I do for a living. When you start talking to somebody, ask them about themselves rather than talking about yourself. And treat it more like making a friend rather than a business connection. Find places online or in person where you feel comfortable, where you can put out the amount of effort that makes you feel good. And push yourself a little bit more every day to do a little bit more. There is no other secret or hack to get over being introverted and shy than just going for it. Just pushing yourself a little bit until you've worked out that muscle and it's gotten stronger. And I would challenge you to start networking right now. Comment on this post and introduce yourself. Tell me, what do you do? Where do you work? Or what would you like to be doing? And where would you like to work? And then look at other people's comments and reply, encourage them, say hello. That is a super valid way of networking. You can do it without actually being face to face with someone. I think you'll find that it's a little bit easier than you think it's gonna be. See you next time.